Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4, and today WTF is Nova Aetas Renaissance. Ooh, this is a big Kickstarter. So, Lipstickpaddy, are you there? Please tell us all about it. Oh, here she is, Nova Aetas Renaissance. Ooh, it says it's an awesome game. Wouldn't every designer say that? I'm going to guide you through a historical and magical age. First thing out of the box is that this is a fantasy game based in the Renaissance. So it's not kind of what one of my worst genres of film or TV, which is, period drama. No, it is fantasy based, so we can expect some dragons, maybe. Beautiful box. I like this big stonking arm if you lay it on its side. Nice too. It does look huge, so I expect minis and some 3D popping up stuff. Let's go down. First though, almost 5,000 backers, huge success for the team. Of course, it's Ludus Magnus Studio who did Rose Wars, which I missed the campaign because I was on holiday for the whole of it on a transatlantic cruise to Europe, and I really want to get my hands on Rose Wars, and it's becoming impossible to get my hands on it at the minute, so second printing, please, Ludus Magnus. Anyway, moving on, doing really well. Now, it's going to be between Rome and Venice. Yeah, popular destinations. I have a game waiting to be fulfilled. That it's based in Rome and Venice, and I'll put the line up here what game that is because my brain is fried. That one is real fantasy based, so we'll see how this pushes the fantasy. Oh, look at it here. We've got some nice terrain though. And minis aplenty. One on the roof here, which suggests height is a strategy. Nice. And we're outdoor here. It has billed itself as more of an adventure than a dungeon crawler, and it is hardly there's a huge narrative focus here, so yes! This narrative focus that's coming in, this is great because it's bleeding over the benefit of an RPG or a roleplay tabletop and bringing it over into the board game. Yes. Now, it is a re-implementation of the first game, and what they've basically done is the successful mechanics of the first game, they're bringing them into a campaign RPG, and it looks great. Going to be interesting characters such as Leonardo da Vinci or Catherine Sortha, many others, both real and imaginary. Key features, we've got asynchronous heroes. They have its own development path as well, which is good. 3D elements, spectacular atmospheres created to the three-dimensional scenic elements. This very interesting horologium. It's like a rondel, but you've got the you've got Sagittarius, Gemini, the horoscope on it. There you go. Interesting AI system going on as well with another rondel. And it does say end game here. An important game session between one mission and another will allow you to visit villages and cities to trade, build new equipment, and acquire secondary missions. It's not really end game. It's like in between game, isn't it? But there's going to be a phase where you're going to like a sanctuary where you can do stuff that isn't adventuring. Now, the game I mentioned above, Carnival Zombie, which is high fantasy, well, yet to see where the fantasy is going with this. We shall find out. Now, it's coming in at a high pledge, isn't it? 119 with a master pledge also. Now, this is a very strange expansion because it has a bit of the expansion is for the Renaissance game and a bit of it is for Black Wars. Well, it's like this would be perfect for those that are backing this and have Black Rose Wars. Well, if I'm backing this, I don't have Black Rose Wars, yet I've got to buy this to get half of the box. It's kind of weird that they've done this. Anyhow, you do get nice saving if you get the expansion in with it, which is this 149, because you're getting like this box then. And if I quickly do the math, $40 you get in the box. You're saving $19. So if you're going for the Titan pledge, you kind of, the money you're saving, you're kind of just paying for that half of the box, and I guess the other stuff you might be able to sell on the second-hand market, or like me, wait until Black Rose Wars comes around again on Kickstarter, if it ever does. Alright, so here are the heroes. Now, dynamic poses not happening, are they? I mean, Valerio looks like he's on guard. Rebecca looks like she's pointing to something. Sophia, again, it's like a fighting stance. Gregorio here, stretch goal, not doing much. Altair, stretch goal coming from the Assassin's Creed game. That, yes, there's a crossover. Vincenzo looking like he's holding something up. He could be throwing that. Altair could be getting a sword up in the air ready to slash you. Gregorio could be swinging his scythe. I mean, just a little stale. Columbia here, who looks like she's at a party, not a war. Gypsy here, again, not really looking adventurous. And Adold, how do you say his name? Adoldi. Oh, never heard that name before. Not looking very interesting. The gunners, though, they're all getting ready, and the harquebusiers too. They're looking all right, but they're not like in a threatening stance. They're all like in a training stance, if you like. The horsemen here, which will look fabulous for Girolamo Rario. The nun doesn't have a name, just Nun. She has Nun name. And yeah, so we're not really seeing much fantasy here, are we? We're just getting Renaissance based on My Hate, which is period drama. They're all just wearing clothes from the Renaissance. Where's the fantasy stuff? Oh. So here we go, the Primivi. The Bully then is our first fantasy, and we've got some Temple Guards and some Form Warriors, but little strange, isn't it? It's almost Shakespearean fantasy. Let's see what else they've got down here. A lion with a, just a lion. Chimera, like Chimera. And a Clockwork Gorham. Hopefully we get to see more through the stretch goals. We'll see. I like these photo book sheets here. Like a book that you put in your character in. That's nice. And, the art. Ooh, look at the art. Art looking good across the team. Ludus Magnus, very good art team that they've got. Using giant tarot cards, 120 by 70. And looking pretty good. I think my worry is, though, that the enemy cards, 6+10, even 26 enemies, if you're in a long campaign and you're only going to face this amount of enemies, it's going to become a little stale, isn't it? You need like a vast roster of enemies if you're going on an adventure. That's my worry coming in here. And equipment cards, 36 plus 39. Are these stretch goals that are coming in here? Maybe. So yeah, equipment cards looks okay. And all that good stuff. We've got like these cards, which is a little bit of the secrecy, so you don't know what's coming up in the story, which is nice to have. And you can see these narrative cards here, very good. 3D elements though, we don't know, is this all you get, these 3 huts? When Renaissance is supposed to have amazing architecture, and you've got this almost Dark Ages architecture. This doesn't speak Renaissance to me at all. You know, Renaissance is supposed to be using a lot of marble, and what we've got here is some stone wall painted and wood, and you know, it's like an old stuff, isn't it? Hemp. It's like hemp walls. Anyway. Now this also worries me, is that you've only got 6 tiles to put this whole adventure across. With connecting tiles, I appreciate that. I just don't think there's enough game here for a grand adventure. With not many enemies, not many tiles. Now you are going to be going up the map though, there is that part of the adventure, but how epic is it going to be when you're using the same terrain? And you can see the campaign book, 100 pages. How exciting is it going to be when you've just got these enemy types? And you know, you can't put inside these envelopes new 3D elements, new face tiles and new enemies, can you? Because you're using miniatures for everything. And a 40-page rulebook, which does seem heavy. Minis, though, it says here 38 tall, so which is nice in PVC. And we've got, it is spelling it out here. This is the Hyperion expansion, looking really nice. And are these enemies in the game? Because we don't know. There's some Black Rose stuff in here, isn't there? Get some burning trees, a new map tile which is needed, and yeah, it's got like a hunting part, so it's a nice side mission. And in the Black Rose you get some more room tiles and a Hyperion mage, which is the guy with the wings up here, so you get this beautiful mini up here to play with in Rose Wars, which, damn you peeps, I want to have that game. Excuse me. And unlocked stretch goal is the Chimera, as they're calling it, with its own deck. So this is another boss, I'd say, which is all pretty good. Heroes got their backstory, nice, and different factions. You know, it's kind of, does it need more? Does it need more? The campaign's going to have 26 missions, 6 different endings. Ooh. And choose your hero, immerse yourself in the Renaissance. So how many characters do we have? We've got 4 heroes, and I pretty much hope they're all scripted as they give their name. So it lends itself to a great narrative story, but we'll just have to see how that goes. Now, it does call itself a dungeon crawler and tactical RPG coming from its original game. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these characters develop, and they really change class, it appears, when they level up as well. So just going from a warrior into a knight, which you can see in the Kickstarter video. So it looks like there is some good character progression. And there's branch storylines in here. So, oh man, the actual narrative focus here is the exciting bit. And it says you will be solving puzzles too, and find objects that will help in future missions. So it's going to be really nice. Now, it calls itself a dynamic change, which means it should change with the paths that you go on. That's certainly true. It's going to be 6 different paths, and potentially if you play this with 2 play groups around the same time, you might have different experiences. You can see here they're going different routes through Venice here, so complete different story depending on which cities you're going through. So it is fairly cool also. It does say here each hero has its own personal story, their own specific dangerous missions, and each hero is a starting class but can acquire new skills and choosing of one of 2 advanced classes. So that is pretty cool, and you're going to be saving your character as you go through it. So it's like a true RPG story that you're going through, and it does sound very cool. You've got to get your head around the Renaissance, and it's like light fantasy but heavy on period drama, it looks like. No, this is kind of funny. It says Rondell here is going to activate special events and specific times and provide a limited time to carry out the missions, which really just make you prioritize missions and make secondaries your primary. And so yeah, we'll see how this all works. Looks interesting, certainly. Crafting is in the game, which is neat. I do like the cards here that you're putting together to make stuff. I always enjoy crafting in a game. It's very satisfying when you make something. And yeah, so it does call high interaction here. Puzzles, you're going to have to help each other. Fighting skills, you're going to be complementing each other. And it says here that you can finding the right way to argue with a merchant so he could give you access to new equipment. Ooh. Unveil Italy. This is kind of the bit that is dull for me, is, you know, the Renaissance Italy with all its marble and art. Is that interesting to go back and visit that stuff for you? Anyway, it is kind of like Snorefest, the fact that it pours itself in Italy, and going through a 100-page book might not be my cup of tea with this kind of world, but that's for you to decide if it's your cup of tea. Now, video reviews are coming, and because this is a narrative game, they are going to be pretty long, but you can click these, so I'm guessing they're ready to rock and roll. And Ludus Magnus just haven't come in here and pasted in their link, you know what I mean? Anyway, you've got your good choices here from some well-known peeps. You've also got them in the different languages, which is good to see, and all that stuff. Here's Altair from you know who. Assassin's Creed, and it's a crossover. Altair's advanced classes. A master or a mentor. Like, these are really dull advanced classes. They really are. And when you, I often find that when they bring crossovers in, that these characters are kind of stale. They always seem to be a little stale because you're kind of walled in by who they are in fiction. And if you've not played the original Assassin's Creed, who is he? You might be wondering, who is this guy? Anyway, it is certainly looking lovely. It's basically the theme, and it's grating on my hate of the genre of period dramas. So it's like, I just can't get excited about that, and really I would have preferred it to go into heavy fantasy. So yeah, I mean that's kind of where I am coming down the page. You know, these tiles when you're moving through the adventure, you know, how often are you going to see them? So yeah, lots of stuff has been unlocking, which is good, and more tiles are coming through the campaign. You know, I guess it's worth coming at the end of the campaign just to see how many tiles there are, because that is going to determine the journey, isn't it? Now, these are the stretch goals coming down here, and you've got Agarix the Druid. What is that? Is that from Black Rose Wars? A character from Black Rose Wars? Could be. And not many Kickstarters are going on BGG by the looks of it, because they could unlock a bear pet, which is fairly cool. And not many people going to their Facebook page because the bull has not been unlocked. So what's going on, peeps? No, this is interesting. An add-on. A 75 Minotaur model. It's like you absolutely want more fantasy in this game, so it's like something you need. Oh, this one's a cool one, isn't it? It's you know, it's the Mandalorian, isn't it, with Baby Yoda. And if you look at this painting version of it, it doesn't look like Yoda, but if you look at the unpainted model here, it does look like it. It's kind of it's a very fun crossover. So yeah, if I was getting that, I would definitely get the Medico. Strange upgrade kit if you've got the original game. You know, is it just going to update the cards and stuff? So it's like a version 2, I guess? I don't know. Examples here of the art and some of the mini scales that are coming, which are very big. Talking about how they're deciding on doing the models and a bit more paint minis here, looking great. And there's the shipping, which seems to be high. Even if you're in the United States, it's high. So it is what it is. God damn those shipping companies. I hope they sort this out in 2021 with shipping, because shipping prices should be down. And they had a little bit of a kerfuffle asking for more money on one of their Kickstarters because they underestimated how much shipping would be, and then they had to ask all their backers for more money for shipping costs. So Ludus Magnus kind of got a bit of bad press over that, but game though, looking solid. Adventure through Italy in the Renaissance with a little sprinkle of fantasy. So it's not leaning on the magical or the fantasy too heavy, and it's more Renaissance. So, so you know, if that floats your boat, it looks like you've got an interesting campaign, good narrative focus, good character development, and it does look good with some very interesting add-ons, new characters, crossovers, and there's a lot to like about this game. It's going to be the theme that kills it. So it kills it for me, peeps. So I hope you're one of these backers, and I can see stuff you're getting excited about. Absolutely. And if you do like the Renaissance story and stuff like that, then I'm sure you're going to be surprised at what you're seeing here, because there's a lot of good stuff here. But you know, this Kickstarter's getting made by a team in California, and it's talking about Renaissance Italy. It's a little bit off, isn't it? Anyway, on that bombshell, this is Nova Aetas Renaissance, and thank you if you got to this far in the video. Thank you so much. Maybe you give it a thumbs up. You've been watching Kickstarter Radio 102.4. I'm Lipstickpaddy. You take care, stay safe, and bye bye for now.